Hi everybody, thanks for joining me here. Ugh, so I just thought I had filmed another video for you guys and discovered my camera was in slow-mo mode, so it's useless. So here we go again. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it ran in slow-mo mode until my phone ran out of memory, which was like 3 minutes worth of slow-mo, because yeah, that takes a lot more space. So that was frustrating. So if I end up repeating myself from previous Stitch With Me's or something, I apologize, because now I don't know what I talked about then and what I talked about on the one I was just filming. So I'm a very professional operation, huh? My gosh. Oh. Yeah, then I went to turn off the camera and discovered the camera's already off. Like, oh, come on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, I have an excuse to sit here and stitch again for another hour. Oh, my word. I tell ya. Yeah, I had before where it was in the mode to take a still picture instead of a video, so same thing. Spent all the time stitching and talking to nobody. Really nobody, because there wasn't even a camera running. Oh my gosh. Well, don't I feel silly? Ugh. So yeah, I think I'll try to remember what I talked about, but I was saying, yeah, it's been a colder, rainier summer so far for us. I hope the weather's nicer for you, although not too hot. Yeah. Although the sun did finally come out today. After that, we had a lot of dark gray cloud cover that looked like it was threatening to rain, but seems to have cleared up, which is nice. Yeah, so I stitched sort of this whole section as my session, and it didn't get recorded, so bear with me, right? Okay, so let's see. I may end up working sort of from the bottom across. Yeah. That just sort of seems to be the way the colors are going to go. That will make the most sense to me. So, as always, I'm working from the left edge out towards the right. So sometimes that means working sort of my way up, sometimes working my way down, whatever works. I'm sure glad I wasn't making a tutorial or something, because that would have really sucked. Well, are you even a YouTuber if you don't have stories like this? Oh boy. Oh, well, I guess I'd rather mess that up than my stitching, right? Yeah, that would have made me really upset. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Yet another thread kind of wrapped itself around this one. I made a really teeny knot, but I think I can get away with it without having to cut it out. We shall see. If it's too big of a knot, if you pull it through, then you can end up with the holes distorting. But this is a very, very small one. You can sort of hear it's just little tiny pops. So yeah, I think I can get away with it. When it's one where you really sort of have to really force it through, then yeah, not a good idea because you'll get distorted holes that'll show up on your finished piece. Guess how I know? Okie doke. Yeah, I'm gonna end up with multiple threads of colors, I think, of the same color, I think. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do this and all these ones that are right up against the edge without closing stuff in. I'm gonna go do the lower legs and then do the upper legs as I come back up and then carry on downwards. So yeah, like I've said before, if I want the thread to end up the opposite side I started from, then I cross as I go. And if I want it to end up back where I started, then I don't cross as I go. I do all the bottom legs and then come back and cross them. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna end up with more than one thread here. That is what I planned to do. So I had about 115 stitches when I started done today, so we'll see what we get done by the end of this session. Ones that I've actually captured. Oh boy, on film. Yeah, my son loves slow-mo videos, but yeah, they take up a lot of space. Of course, now he has his own phone, so. But yeah, it was kind of fun. Before that, he and his dad made one where they built a little Lego wall and they had a little Lego man sitting on top of it. And then they ran a little toy wind-up car into it, and the Lego man didn't fall off. He actually went flying in the air and did like 3 or 4 flips before he landed on the ground. I said that looked like something out of an actual movie. Yeah, again, I'm gonna do more than one thread here for this purple, I think. Yeah. Okay, so right there. Yeah, I may end up going further down the diagonal. Yeah, I said, oh, for pity's sake. That's something I say. And I said it was pretty funny. I was pitting cherries and one of them flew across the room. And I said, oh, for pity's sake. Then I laughed because, you know, pity. But yeah, if people say, why do you pit them? You know, just put them in your mouth and sort of eat around the pit and spit it out. It's like, but it tastes different. I'm not the only one who has that, right? Yeah, I could taste the pit. I mean, I'm not biting into it, but yeah, I can still taste it in my mouth. It's not the same. So I would rather do the work of pitting the cherries, even though finding a little cherry pitter is not easy. I remember my mom had some older one that I think was like more of an antique. And yeah, it took me quite a lot of searching, like even went online, and it was hard to find. And I finally found it at Home Hardware. They had one that's spring-loaded. But yeah, your hand sure does get sore after doing that whole bag of cherries. So that's why I don't buy them very often. I kind of have to forget how much work it is before I'm willing to do it again. Plus, they are super expensive here. Yeah. We're in the desert, basically, so they have to be imported, and they're not cheap. Like a small little 2-pound bag can be like $8 or $9, sometimes even more. So yeah, I often get them maybe once a year. Or I keep my eye out for when they have some that are on the clearance rack that are still good but not going to be good for more than a couple of days. So then we pig out. Either that or I freeze them to use in jam later. Because I make jam with whatever fruit I had, and then the rest is apple. Although, yeah, I don't think I'll make any this year. I've got a lot still. Oh, look at that. I am out of needles. My gosh. Yeah, because I had so many live ones. Okay, I think since I'm working my way up, I'm going to take my needles off of these ones that are parked up higher along the diagonal and use those, and then get back to them. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Since I'm kind of working in more of a bottom-up direction, yeah. That just makes sense. Yeah, I don't usually run out of needles because I keep quite a few. A couple dozen, generally, on my needle minder. Okay. Just seeing where I want to park. Oh, and I unthreaded that one. My gosh. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Oh, now I only threaded one side. Okay. Let's try this again. Now, do I have one parked up there? No. Okay, I'm going to try and sort of carry this one up too. Although I may still have to add another thread, depending on how far the carry is. We shall see. Couldn't get that one free without unthreading it. Oh well. Yeah, so the way the colors are going here, it just kind of ends up becoming more of a vertical column style stitch. Just the way it is. Oh yeah, so I was saying my son has some stuff to go to this summer. He gets to one of them is he gets to try archery. I said, I'm kind of jealous. I've always wanted to try that just to see what it's like. Just like I went to the gun range and fired my husband's hunting rifle just to see what it was like, just to say that I've done it. Yeah, it's ruddy heavy. Those were not coming through smoothly. You don't want one thread to be looser than the other. You get a sloppy looking stitch. So yeah, my sister-in-law had one of the great big long bows. She tried it. She said she didn't realize when she fired the arrow into the field, it was like a field full of reeds. So the arrow like looks the same as all of the stalks. So unfortunately, she lost it. Oh. Okay, let's see if we've got any short little bits. No, again, when you really want to have a short piece, you haven't got any. Oh, funny how that works out, hey? All right, just making sure I'm in the right spot, which I am. Because, yeah, once I've attached with a loop start, it's really hard to undo it again. At least when I'm doing it from the front. Yeah, it's just sort of the way it pulls at it. Works great if you never have to undo it. But yeah, if you make a mistake, then it's not very fun to try to rectify. Let's try not to make a tangle here. Gotcha. Oh, I spoke too soon. There, now gotcha. All right, out of needles again. Okay, let's see if I can find any loose ones on here for ones that got unthreaded. Oh, is that one? Yes. one that got pulled free. Yeah, I kind of always need one more needle because of the way I pull them out of my bunch of part threads. So this will be just the right length for those 3, and then I'll end it off, and then I have other threads in play for more of those. Okay. Yeah, so saying it's a cooler summer, but then the nice thing is I can still bake. I had some bananas going begging, so I made some banana bread, although I have like 4 loaves worth of bananas in my freezer now. Oh dear. I do eventually use it. Yeah. All right, just gonna check the lengths of these ones. Okay, that's not very long, is it? No, it's not. Okay. Neither of these are actually terribly long, so I'll just stitch them till they run out. But yeah, I was saying I had a friend who had like a whole ice cream tub full of frozen banana to use for banana bread, but she didn't think about the fact that you can't thaw part of it easily unless you're gonna, you know, like chisel it out of there. So, because yeah, I said I freeze mine in the so it takes 3 bananas to make 1 loaf of banana bread, so I freeze them in groups of 3, and then that way, even if I have only 2, you know, left, I'll freeze them as 2, and then when I have another banana later, I'll add a 3rd one to that bag, and then yeah, they're perfectly portioned out. Yeah, I actually found I like the texture of using them when they've been previously frozen. They ends up more smooth in the finished product. Yeah, I do similar with when I have leftover broth. I freeze it in ice cube trays. Then that way, you don't have to thaw the whole thing. You can just thaw what you need for making, you know, like stir fry sauce or whatever. Works out good. So yeah, kind of stitching all over the place here. That's just sometimes what happens. It's just the way the colors were telling me to go. I'll come back and fill in this bit too before I move on to the next diagonal. It's just, oh, look at that, I unthreaded my needle. That won't work. Or, oh, I had the bright idea once of making, pre-making cookie dough. And then I froze them as little balls so that you could just bake a few. But I discovered that frozen cookie dough is so yummy. And they never did make it to the oven. It was just like, oh, I'll just have one more. Oh, okay, just one more. And then, yeah, it was long gone. So much for that. And unlike like store-bought already frozen, it doesn't have that preservative-y taste. My mother-in-law would say it tastes fake. And she's right, yeah. You can taste all those preservatives. Ugh, I don't like it. I mean, yes, I understand they need them for food they're going to sell so that it lasts longer, but yeah. That's one thing you can't really beat homemade for that fresh taste. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do those. Get them out of the way. I have the perfect length piece for that. Yeah, I was going to make some cookies, but then I realized I had the bananas that needed to be used up. So once we eat up the banana bread, I guess I'll make the cookies. It's still cool enough. Well, it's nice. I have an old, what was given to me as a wedding gift, bread machine slash oven. It's not very big. It was just enough to cook one loaf of bread kind of thing, but then it's really good. Like the bread machine part of it doesn't work anymore. The gears for kneading the bread doesn't work anymore, but the oven part works. So it's really nice in the summer when it's really hot and you just want to, you know, like cook some nuggets or something and not heat up the whole house. Yeah, it's really, really useful for that. Or it's nice sometimes if I have potatoes and meat that has to be cooked at a different temperature. So I can use one for one thing and my big oven for the other. Okay, let me see, actually, oops. Actually, I'm going to take that needle back. I am not going to do these bottom two for a while. I'm going to work my way back up and fill in a bunch of stuff, so. Oh dear. Yeah. Just checking there wasn't a place to park that. There was not. So we will just end this one off. Come on, there. To get it correctly between these threads or the pin stitch won't be hidden, won't close up over it properly, so yeah. A little fiddly sometimes. Oh, I'm just gonna get myself a little more comfortable. Yeah, the other day, went on my walk, had to pick up a few things from the store, so I just went for a walk to get them, and I bought myself a bag of oats because Son likes oatmeal in the morning, not thinking about the fact that it's 5 kilos, so yeah, that's like 11 pounds. So I got it home, but yeah, back's a little sore today. Oh dear. But yeah, I figure I gotta do my walk anyway, and saves a little gas, so might as well. Wouldn't try and carry anything too hugely heavy, but that was manageable. Somewhat heavy when you're carrying it a kilometer, but it's doable. And there. Yeah, so I bet you were thinking I was going to do 2 threads for these, but actually, they're not too far apart to go back and forth a little bit, so I do these 2. And then I'm gonna park it up here. And then it will sort of carry on down that way like that. This one is just the right length. Love when it works out that way. Not there. Okay, so head back up here. Ah, new color. Okay. Oh my. I did not go in the right spot there. There we go. Yeah, so this area isn't quite as confetti heavy as the one I did in my failed stitch session, so going a little faster. There we are. Okay. Let's see. Okay, good. So get a needle back from this one. Oh, no, we will not. There is no needle on it. We have any free ones? No, these look like they're all in use. Darn. I'll have to unthread another one. Oh, well. Okay. But this one will be done. So I won't lose a needle to that one. Okay, I should have some smaller bits for that. Yeah, perfect. Yes, this is a color I use a lot, so I end up with a lot of leftover pieces. That's okay, eventually they all get used. So yeah, when it's a lot of the color, but it's not sort of used in one big area, you end up with a lot of little leftovers when you have more thread than there is stitches left. Come on. I know there's a knot, but I just want to use this up. There we go. Then I'll cut that bit off. Yeah, I probably should have cut that out, but oh well. But now I will. There. Okay. that one so that I can do all of those at once. Okay, and I think that will be the last ones I do for this thread, yeah. And then we'll carry on with the other thread. Works out very nicely, actually. Darn it, I hate when I do that. Pulled a little too hard and the needle came right off. Look at that, we have 234 stitches done today. I don't know why I just like numbers like that. 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, that'll be that, and then I'll park it out of the diagonal. It's not time yet, Piggy. She wants her veg now, but it isn't time. Okay, and another one out of the diagonal. So yeah, so you can see I sort of filled in this section here. Then I'm going to go back up and fill this in. So yeah, just kind of work where I want to work. Follow the colors and do whatever seems to work for me. Whatever makes the most sense at the time. There we go. One thread was looser than the other. I don't want that. And once again, getting some needles back. I'll feed you soon. You can hang on a little bit. Yeah, she gets veggies twice a day. Otherwise, it's hay and pellets. If you overfeed them too much veggies, they get stomach upset, so. But yeah, they don't know what's good for them. It's like my mom said, they had some fish and they were always acting hungry, so they fed them, and yeah, turns out they overfed them and they died. So yeah, gotta be careful about that. Let's see if there is a needle on this one. There is not. Okay. On this one, nope. Although this one is so short that I think I'm just going to, yeah, deal with it now and be done with it. Oh, pardon me. Okay, so that. Okay. And then finally, I can do these three without closing anything in. Get the needle turned around the right way. She's kind of thrown off her schedule too, because it used to be she knows she'd get her veggies when son got home from school. But since it's summer and he's home all the time, yeah. Although I swear to you, she can tell time, because when school was still in session, the time that I should be heading out to pick him up, she would start squeaking, like to remind me to go get him. So it's like, you can tell time, you little turkey, so stop trying to con me. Okay, so there. So I filled in sort of this whole bit, and then now I'm going to head back up here and carry on here. Yeah, so it was just sort of harder to fill in without closing stuff in at that point. So I will carry on from there. Oh my gosh, okay. This piggy is just not going to stop being rude until I feed her. So I'm going to do this and park this, and then I think we'll call it a day there before she squeaks my ear off wanting her food. Actually, I wouldn't mind taking a break and having some of that banana bread I talked about earlier. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you here again another time. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.